I'm Heather from Here Booktubes, and today is things I'll never do as a booktuber. This is my stuff that I just am not interested in. That's pretty common things, and I'm curious to know your answers, so do let me know. First one is write a book. I am not author material. I do not have stories living in my head. I do not have characters that need told. I do not have any desire to. When I was probably 9, I plagiarized Emily of New Moon by Ella Montgomery and decided that writing was not for me. I got bored halfway through and just made my handwriting bigger so that I could fill the whole thing that I had wanted to fill. That was when I discovered I do not have a desire to be an author, even if Louisa May Alcott and Ella Montgomery made me think that maybe I did. I do really love and respect the way that reader and author overlap. It's obviously very natural, and I am always rooting for people who do want to become authors. I'm rooting for them. If they were a book content creator first, cool, but kind of regardless, if you write a great book, I am so grateful for that because I could never. Next is go to a book con or author signings. This sounds terrible to me. I'm not like the biggest, I don't know how to say this. I'm not introverted to the point where like I cannot function in a group setting. I'm perfectly fine in a group setting, and I'm perfectly fine at things like conferences or retreats or, whatever. I'm fine. It's just not fun. Like, it's not fun for me, and I don't want signed books, so that wouldn't be special. I don't really care about meeting authors, so that wouldn't be special. Standing in line with all those people, again, to get my book signed for a 20-second interaction with an author, I would much rather comment or review or DM an author online and say, I loved your book, thank you so much for writing it. I'm not ever going to spend money or time or any of the things to do that. Next is start a book club. If there is one thing Booktube does not need, it's more book clubs. I am so sorry if you have plans to start a book club in 2023. Congratulations. I hope that it is well attended. But I, as someone who hates assigned reading, could not care less. The majority of the terrible books that I've read for Booktube were for book clubs or were for specific discussions like that. And I just would never be a founding member of such a thing. I really do love live discussions, especially of a book that I love. That is so much fun. But a book club? No, I don't want to read those books. I don't want to read them. So I'm not going to be doing that. And you might say, Heather, if you start a book club, you could pick your own books. Listen, if there's one thing that you need to know about me, is that I'm either going to DNF a book or I'm going to delete it off my TBR without ever having actually picked it up after I thought I would be interested in that book. The only way that I will ever commit to a bunch of discussions is basically if I've already read the book. If I've already read the book and I already know it's one of my all-time favorites, then yes, now we are talking about a different thing. I am happy to talk about my favorite books, obviously, but I don't feel like that's the same thing as a book club, and I don't feel like a book club can just be books you've already read and loved. So that's a no for me. Next is collect books. Listen, I am weak. Much like the rest of you, there are some books that are just so pretty and I just would like to own them, but I don't because 1, I have children and pets. 2, I have never been a book collector, never will be a book collector. 3, I'm poor. 4, I don't need to own a book to enjoy it. For me, and this might sound snobbish, but I really don't mean it that way. For me, being a reader is legitimately reading the book. I don't care if I own it. I don't care what format it is really. It's just reading the book. And there's not that many books that I'm going to reread. Obviously, they're going to be favorites, but then even that, like, I'm reading on ebook. I don't need to own it physically to represent my love of the book. I just don't. I am much more likely to buy a print of your characters or stickers of your characters, something like that, rather than a book. In fact, I have never, the entire time that I've been on Booktube, bought a book because I loved it. I've bought some books to read them because I really didn't have access to them, and the price difference between the ebook and the physical book were marginal, and or there was a specific reason where I was like, my kids might want to read this, or it's only available physically, or what have you. And that's like less than 10 in 3 years. So, but I'm never going to collect books. When the kids are moved out and the pets are long gone and I'm not going to have a library in my home. The thing of it is, well and truly for me, I would have to be so wealthy, which is never going to happen. I would have to be so wealthy to want a home library, because I would need to have a house that is big enough to have its own space. I would need to have the thousands of dollars that is required to have hundreds and thousands of books in your home library. And also, legitimately, if I had a house like that, the only way I would have a house like that is if I could also easily afford to pay someone to clean it for me. But the real thing is, with the books, I would only buy them as a collector if money was literally no issue. If it was like, spend thousands of dollars, it does not matter. You're not taking away from anything else. Just go ahead, like, spend thousands of dollars on books and it doesn't matter. That's the only way it would ever happen, and that's not my destiny, so it's never gonna happen. The next thing is a video every day in a row. I have complained about this so many times, and here's why. The turnaround on videos, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's so much work. The amount of stress and irritation I would feel at trying to get a video out every day. I've done like 4 videos in a week several times, and it's a lot of work. I would never be someone who did a video every day for a week or anything like that. I don't think you get that much bang for your buck, basically. So could I film ahead and all of those things and have a video up every day of the week? Sure I could. For like 1 week, sure I could. But why would I? Why would I? Because I have to assume that several of those videos are not going to get the traction that they might have if they were the only video for me you could watch that week. And why would I put 7 of them back to back to back? Because there are like creators on this one hand that I would watch every single one of their videos, regardless of what it was, every day of the week. Like, I don't know, I'm not doing that. I don't like when creators do it. I think it's annoying. Like, I get the hype and the challenge and, you know, the excitement and stuff, but it's not for me, will never be for me, is never going to happen. Is never going to happen. Next is unboxings. I could not care less about unboxings. More power to you. Enjoy your bookish chapstick. Enjoy your bookish candle. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I like special editions just as much as everyone else. I like pretty things. Of course I do. But I'm not going to watch your unboxing. If you want to post a picture of your special edition or show me your special editions in your video, cool. I'm never going to care enough to pay for a subscription because half the things in there I don't want. I'm never going to film it when I do have, like, I know it's a whole thing. It certainly is a whole thing outside of the bookish space as well, but I don't care. And because I don't care, I'm never going to film it. And I'm also not going to watch when you do it. If I watch an unboxing, it's usually because it's my friend, and I'm watching because they're my friend, not because I care about the unboxing. Lastly is consistent ARC reader. I could not tell you the last time I read an ARC but I think it might be 2021. I'm not an ARC reader. Why? Because it feels like assigned reading. It feels like pressure. Are there some authors where I'm just like, oh, I can't believe you people have an ARC and I still have to wait for the book? Yes. Is that definitely my own fault? Also, yes. But I don't know. I often read books on release day or release week because I am excited for them, but I don't want an ARC. Okay. Here's probably the real reason. Let's be honest with ourselves, shall we? It's an extra step. And if there's one thing that will keep me from doing something, it's one small 3-minute extra step. I cannot be bothered. I will procrastinate it to the end of time. I will avoid it. I will not do it because of that one extra step. And that is just my reality. And well, obviously ARC readers are important. The entire bookish space, the career of that author, how well that book does, it doesn't matter what book we're talking about, it does not rest on me. I am not crucial for the success of that book, and I refuse to treat my life like I am, right? It does not need to be priority number one for me. It doesn't matter. If I get to it, great. If I don't get to it, also okay. I'm just one reader. I know I'm a content creator, so arguably I might convince 3 people to read the book, but swinging it either way, it doesn't really matter, and I just am not going to put any pressure on myself to make it matter. And also, we all know that I would do enough, a solid half of them at least, so there's that as well. So that's it. Those are things that I'm just not gonna do. I'm never gonna do. Don't ask me to do them. I'm not doing them. Let me know yours. It can be something so simple. Like, I'm never signing up for NetGalley ever. You know, it can be something like that. Or it can be something more controversial where you're just like side-eyeing all of you. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.